Hey, Special Chronicles listeners, I'm Daniel Smrokowski, founder of Special Chronicles, coming to you at the start of the program to invite you to join our community and support our 2026 Giving campaign to keep amplifying the voices of individuals with special needs. Your gift powers studio operations, production, and inclusive media. Donate today at specialchronicles.com/give.
This is Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.
I shudder thinking how the world can be so cruel. I lend my voice to those who can't. It's time we try, it's time we care, it's time we stand. It starts with a voice.
Welcome back to the Special Chronicles Podcast, where we give respect and voice to people with special needs through the media. Today, I'm Daniel Smrokowski, founder of Special Chronicles and a former Sergeant Shriver Global Messenger with Special Olympics. Today, we're honored to share a re-release interview with Mary Davis, CEO of Special Olympics International, as she prepares to retire this year. Mary reflects on her journey, her leadership, and the legacy of inclusion she leaves behind. This encore conversation is part of our mission to amplify voices and share stories that inspire. And you can learn more about Special Olympics and join the movement at specialolympics.org and follow the Special Chronicles podcast at specialchronicles.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Please put your virtual hands together as we bring you this encore interview with Mary Davis, retiring CEO of Special Olympics International. You're listening to Special Chronicles Live for our second annual live broadcast from the Special Olympics International office in Washington, D.C. Here with CEO Mary Davis.
Hi, Daniel. I'm delighted to be with you this morning.
So let's have you begin by first introducing yourself to our listeners.
So I'm Mary Davis. I'm the Chief Executive of Special Olympics International. I actually started out my career way back in 1978 with Special Olympics. I was a teacher and worked as a volunteer for many years. And then eventually when Special Olympics Ireland needed to hire a full-time person, I was approached by the board of directors at the time and asked if I would assume the position, and therefore I got involved in a really full-time way from 1989. And I've been involved in various different capacities, different roles and responsibilities since then. So I can say that I've seen Special Olympics from all angles, from a volunteer, from a coaching perspective, from running a national program to running a region, to now being the CEO. So it's been a very interesting and exciting journey, and one that I'm really, really passionate about.
Yeah, awesome. So why did you decide to work for Special Olympics for so long?
Well, when I was teaching, I was teaching in special needs school, so I was obviously coming in touch with students who were involved in or getting involved in the Special Olympics program, because when I started, Special Olympics it was just literally coming to Ireland. Eunice Kennedy Shriver came over and made a presentation, and she had lots of materials and information with her that excited the few of us that were there that particular day that she came, because we didn't have any resources or any materials in Ireland at that time. So we were really trying to find our way, and Special Olympics we saw as a fantastic resource for us to use to be able to teach the skills and to be able to break them down in the way that we needed to. So that's how it sort of started for me in a way.
Awesome. So what's your favorite moment? I'm sure there's tons of moments through all the various events. that we have at Special Olympics, whether it's the World Games or USA Games or local events. But what's your favorite moment?
Well, that is a very, very tough and difficult question, Daniel, because every moment for me, to be honest, in Special Olympics is a favourite one. There's always something different, something exciting, something interesting, something new happening. And if I were to pick one, I would say when I was coaching gymnastics, I had a particular athlete that I'd coached for many, many years, and she became an all-round gymnast, and she competed in the all-round competition in South Bend in Indiana and went on to win the gold medal for the all-round. And as long as I lived, I never, ever will forget that moment, the way she felt, the way her family, her friends felt, and the way I felt as well. It was truly, truly magical. But there are so many moments, and they're mainly stories around our Special Olympics athletes.
So, can you tell us a little bit about the post-Geo, the post-international games? I believe it was in Greece, or maybe it was in. Was it in Ireland? Can you tell us a bit about that?
The first World Games that were held outside of the United States were actually held in Ireland in 2003, and then went to China actually after that in 2007, and then in 2011, as you mentioned, Daniel, Athens hosted the Games. So we set a trend in a way once the Games came outside of the US. They remained outside for a number of years, and then of course came back to LA in 2015 as well. But the Games in Ireland, I was very privileged to be the CEO of those Games, and that was just a wonderful opportunity, and such a small nation with only 4 million people to have the chance to host 165 countries and 10,000 athletes and coaches and 1,000 members of the international media. I don't know if you were there, Daniel, as a media representative, but you should have been.
Yeah, I should have done, yeah.
You should have been. But it was a great moment for Ireland, and the impact that those Games had lives on to this very day, all those years later.
So you share with us your most inspiring moment here at Special Olympics. Is there any inspiring?
Well, every story that one of our athletes has to tell, to me, it's a very, very inspiring. It's a very inspiring story. It's a very inspiring moment. But yesterday, actually, you remind me of yesterday, we had a meeting here at headquarters of our mentors and our mentees. And these are our athletes who are employees. They're employees first in the organisation, and of course then they tell their story, like we all have our stories of what we do in our spare time when we're not working. They tell the story, and they all have a mentor. So it was a wonderful opportunity for the mentors and the mentees to come together and talk about their experiences and talk about how the athletes like to be treated as employees as well. So I found that whole session to be very enlightening and educational, certainly for me, also very inspiring.
Yeah. So at the ESPYs just a couple of weeks ago, you guys were there and the choose to include a message that was just announced to them. Can you comment a little bit about the importance about choosing to include?
Sure. Well, first of all, yes, the ESPYs I hear was an absolutely marvellous event. I'm sorry that I missed it because I was back in Ireland at the time, Daniel. but it was a real honour that our founder, our inspirational, such a strong leader as Eunice Kennedy Shriver, should receive that award, and the fact that it was accepted by Tim Shriver, who has followed in her shoes as the chairman of Special Olympics. And Choose to Include is a line that we love to use, because I think it describes everything that we are trying to achieve over the next 50 years, and particularly through our unified sports program and through our youth activation program. And we want to inspire the next generation to build an inclusive community, an inclusive world where our Special Olympics athletes are treated exactly the same way as everybody else and have the same rights and privileges in their community as everyone else. So our message is to reach out to people and to invite them to choose to include every single member of their community in society.
Yeah, absolutely. So what our listeners and our viewers on Facebook Live might not know is we met last week at the 50th Marketing and Communications Committee that I'm on as the athlete representative, and then we had the press event at Soldier Field that was really exciting. Can you share with us a little bit about how those 2 days went?
Yeah, well, it was a real pleasure to meet you and to meet all the other members of the Marketing and Communications Committee that have been set up to drive all of the events that are happening around the 50th anniversary next July. And of course it was the 20th of July 2017, which was 1 year out, and that's what we were there to celebrate. And we had the press conference then the following day to announce that and to celebrate it. And it's great to see the range of events that are going to be hosted in Chicago, who hosted the first World Games effectively in 1968, although the entire world weren't present there at that time. But the program has developed so much around the world now that we have 172 programs involved. At that time it was just the US and Canada that were involved. And now to come back 50 years later, and as well as having the Eternal Flame, which is a very exciting monument that's going to be there to remember the Games forever that was started in Chicago, but also to have a Change the Game day. We're looking at also having a concert, and the highlight for us will be our unified football event, and we have a lot of teams coming in from all over the world, and again it's all around that theme of unified, of encouraging people to choose to include and to be inclusive in society, and we reflect that very much through Play Unified, and we believe that if you play unified you can live unified. So therefore we are reaching out to young people, to young students, to schools. We want every single school to be involved in our unified program and our youth activation programs, and that's why we're highlighting the Unified Cup in Chicago. So we're really looking forward to next July, to the 20th, to that weekend, and staging all of those events. Also, I know that Special Olympics Illinois have a whole travelling bus. It's like a travelling museum.
Yeah.
And we got the chance to see that a couple of days ago. It was completely wrapped in the 50th logo and Special Olympics logo. And, I can just envisage that travelling around for the next year into every single community all around the state of Illinois. And awareness that it is going to bring should be phenomenal.
Yeah, it should be. So if we come to close here, what does the Special Olympics mission mean to you?
Well, it means two things to me. It means that we must continue to reach as many people as possible with an intellectual disability. And when you consider that there are over 200 million people with an intellectual disability in the world, and at the moment we reach 5.8 people, including our unified partners, we still have a long, long way to go. And the first part of the mission very much says that our job is to provide sports training and competition for people with an intellectual disability of all ages, giving them continuing opportunities to show their skills and talents, and to share in the friendships with their families and with their fellow athletes and with the community. And it's that sharing of their gifts and abilities and talents with the community which I see as the second part of our job, which is literally to share the gifts of the athletes with the public, and to reach out to people and ensure that they understand the abilities of people with an intellectual disability, and that they create more inclusive societies as a result of that.
Absolutely. So any final thoughts on your overall time here today on Special Chronicles that you want to share with all of us?
Well, I want to say how impressed I am with what you've set up here, and what you are doing in terms of creating awareness for the work that Special Olympics does. And I know that obviously you have first-hand experience yourself as an athlete, and I think experience is, if you have that experience, it's much easier to express and to be passionate about the organisation. And I can see your passion as much as I understand my own passion because of my own involvement for many years. And what we really want to do is have many other people have those touch points and opportunities to interact with Special Olympics athletes, so that they too can experience a feeling that it's very, very hard to describe to others what it's like, but it is magic.
Yeah. So our guest today on Special Chronicles Live, we've been at the Special Olympics International Office in Washington, D.C. with CEO Mary Davis. Thank you, Mary, for coming on Special Chronicles Live.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
And I would like to thank Mary Davis once again, as this episode is airing this week, week of December 8th, 2025. The episode originally aired back in 2017, I believe. So it's been quite a few years. But I just want to just take a quick moment at the end of the program today to express my gratitude and a big thank you to Mary Davis for a whole many years involved in the Special Olympics movement. I know she's going to continue to be involved in Special Olympics, but I'd like to just thank Mary for being the CEO on behalf of all of our Special Olympics athletes across the globe, not only here in the U.S., not only our North America region, but all the regions within Special Olympics across the globe. Thank you, Mary, for working alongside us athletes, and especially during my time as a Southern Tribal Global Messenger. Thank you for all that you do to support us Special Olympics athletes and to let us lead. And it's been a joy. It's been a lot of fun to get to know you these many years, and looking forward to staying in touch. And thank you for your incredible leadership leading this movement. Thank you for joining us for the special We-Release interview with Mary Davis, who is retiring this year as CEO of Special Olympics International. International. Coming up next week, David Evangelista, incoming CEO of Special Olympics International, will join us to talk his vision, inclusion, and the future of the movement. You can subscribe and follow the Special Chronicles podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, on specialchronicles.com, wherever you get your podcast, so you do not miss that episode or any future upcoming episodes. So please do not miss next week's episode as we hear from David Evangelista. That was such a fun conversation with him that you do not want to miss next week. But just once again, thank you so much to Mary Davis for her leadership and time being our CEO of Special Olympics. You can learn more and join the movement at Special Olympics at specialolympics.org, and follow the Special Chronicles podcast at specialchronicles.com, wherever you get your podcasts. And until next week, we'll get a chance to sit down with David Evangelista, incoming CEO of Special Olympics International. And until next week, remember, choose to include. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Special Chronicles Podcast. Our podcast was produced by Daniel Smrokowski on the Special Chronicles Network. Follow Special Chronicles on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Subscribe, rate, and review Special Chronicles on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Our website, specialchronicles.com, where you can stream our archives of over 500 episodes absolutely for free. Also, there's a list of our favorites, original series, award-winning columns, and blogs. And sign up for our newsletter to receive exclusive bonus content delivered to your inbox. Again, specialchronicles.com. Special Chronicles is hosted by Podbean Podcast Hosting. Our live streams are powered by StreamYard. Thanks, as always, to our business manager, Daniel Smrokowski, who always encourages us to never give up. I'm Daniel Smrokowski, back next week with more stories.
Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.